it's not looking too bad, too disorganised. We've tidied up a bit. I've had a nice fire this morning. I've just done the washing up, but I have had a mini disaster. These little things that happen. I had an ice bucket to keep I haven't got a fridge in yet, so I got some ice cubes and an ice bucket to keep the dairy products and of course the wine chilled. So in the ice bucket went the wine, which I'm sure is chilled, but also a pot of double cream, which it would appear the top's come off, and so I am chilling my my white wine in double cream. Hey ho! I think you will be proud of me. I have fitted a pull-out shelf. Well, in fact, two pull-out shelves in the cupboard of the kitchen of my tiny house. Look, it even goes back automatically, well, with a shove from my foot. So we've now got gas cooking, and I am just about to blend some soup, homemade soup. I can't find my blender, so I'm using the juicer. This is a pan of delicious homemade fresh vegetable soup. I made it yesterday actually. I've just warmed it up and I can't put my hand on my blender, so I thought, well, the juicer, that will do, won't it? So I put a nice flour jug under there and I put the soup in at the top to blend it. And absolutely nothing has come out into the jug. It's all been sent to the waste bin. Oh dear. Try again, Phil, try again. And that's what you get when it is unblended or unmashed up by the juicer. Pure vegetable soup, and it tastes delicious, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a wet Sunday afternoon in my tiny house, but I'm cosy. Some people ask me in particular two things about the tiny house. One is, where do I sleep? Well, I sleep up there in what I call the nest. It's a loft with stairs going up, and I have a bedside table and a light and a phone charger. That's my dressing gown, lazily hung over the banister, so snug as a bug in a rug in the loft. And the other thing that people ask, what about the toilet? Well, this is the view out of the toilet window. Why am I in the toilet? Because I'm doing a little tiny house job, fitting my composting toilet in the right place. Now, the right place for sitting turned out to be, and there's an air vent pipe which goes out of the back. So the first preferred place was this hole here, but I don't know if you can see, there are only two problems with this hole. It's in the wrong place. Well, for two reasons. That is actually a wooden strut. It's the structure of the tiny house, so I wasn't going to go through that. And just below it, believe it or not, oh no, right there, you can see it, is a water pipe which goes to there if you have a regular water flushing type toilet. I'm not going to do that, so I've had to move that hole, and I've moved it to there. So I'm going to fill this hole with filler. I've got the plug, the original wooden plug from the drill bit, and I need to colour it to match the wood. Well, that's what I'm thinking of doing. So what I'm doing here is I've got some of this filler, which is pure white. I don't want it pure white, so I have just squeezed. This is actually a coffee bag from this morning, or is it a tea bag? Which one is this? Oh, this is a tea bag actually from this morning. I've just given that a squeeze. Don't want to get it too wet. And so that's more like the colour of cappuccino ice cream. Well, no, it's not that dark, is it? So I want to get it a bit darker. So I thought I would add a bit of turmeric for colour. What do you think? What's that going to turn out like? A little bit of that. Not too much. Just a matching amount. Oh, that's, I think that's done the trick. It's creamier now. Question is it too wet to be a filler now? That's what it's matching. Anyway, I might be going to a little bit of extremes here. Let's see how we get on with that. I have finally had the sliding door fixed. Oh yes. Thank you, Dave. And I've finally managed to fit the air vent pipe that goes out of the back of the tiny house, which removes smelly air from the toilet. It's got, look, it's an electric powered toilet. It's got a switch for a fan. Electric powered toilet. And the wee goes through that black pipe into a container underneath the tiny house, and the solids stay in the toilet in a hygienic bag, a decompostable bag, with I use ash from the stove to layer it after each time I've been to the toilet, and it's completely benign and smell free, and I dispose of that once every 10 days or so. And I have a very lovely walnut personalized, well, one-off hand basin here with cold water, but as yet no hot water because the geyser is not yet working. It's the electronics, it seems. I thought you might like to see how I save water in the tiny house. The tiny house has got two tanks. It's got a clean water tank, 120 litres, and a dirty water tank, 120 litres. And so to avoid excess consumption, but also the physical emptying and replacing of the water, because 120 litres of water is heavy, so you have to make a special trip to dispose of the dirty water. Here in Britain, we take our water for granted, or at least I did. And we pay our water bills, and so we tend to switch the tap off when we're cleaning our teeth or whatever it is that we do. But basically, it's literally on tap. When you move to a tiny house and you have a different type of supply, you look for ways of minimizing, or I would say double use of your water. So right now, because my water heater isn't yet working, I am boiling some water, heating some water in a pan, and I'm going to, I don't know if this is of particular interest, you might find this interesting. I learnt this from a girlfriend some years ago now, and I'm glad I learned it. She would recycle or use every drop of water more than once, so she wouldn't dream, and now I wouldn't dream of just, for example, rinsing things off in the sink, or indeed filling the bowl with hot water and then replacing it with cold water to rinse off. No. Let me demonstrate how I now use water twice. So the hot water is in the pan. Keep it in the pan. I'm not going to decant it into the sink or a plastic bowl. No, it stays in the pan, and that's because that's going to be cleaned as well. I've used that actually last night, so I'm washing it up as well. I only use Ecover sensitive with plant-based biodegradable ingredients for my washing up liquid. No hands that do dishes here, very liquid. Add some cold until it's the right temperature. That's still too hot. And like you, I will do glasses first. And so you only need a little bit of water to clean the glass, and then just a sprinkle of cold, and that's rinsed. Morning coffee cup, same thing. Quick rinse. Breakfast cutlery. Now, I'm sure some of you are thinking, but he's not rinsed the soap off the cutlery. Aha, you're right. But instead of using water for each item of cutlery, what you do is you grab the whole handful together like that, and you only need one squirt of water. So again, reducing the amount of water you consume. All the time, the pan underneath itself is getting soaked for easy cleaning. Are you with me so far? Bagels, my favourite breakfast. A bagel with 1/2 smoked salmon and 1/2 scrambled eggs, made in the manner of Bob Mortimer with extra pepper. See how little water we're using? And now the heavy stuff, the pan that I did the scrambled egg in this morning. And you see, use the same water but decant it into the other pan. And there we are. All we need to do now is clean. I'm a bit conscious that that's quite a big pan of water for cleaning the breakfast things. I'm not going to leave it for another clean, but what I have just remembered is I'll clean this pan, but before I throw it down the plug hole, I'm going to just rinse out my morning coffee cafetiere with the grains. Some people save their grains, and I've not got into that habit yet. The water system, the dirty water system, it takes the water from the tap. Oh, that's too much water used in rinsing, because what I'm going to do now is I can wash the grains away. It goes down into a macerator, which will hopefully, well, I'm sure, mash up the grinds and the whatever little waste needs to be mashed up. Little rinse, wipe it off, dry it off, and there we are. Pink bucket. Water meter going round. What's going on here? Well, for those who are interested, there are 2 water tanks in the tiny house. There's a clean water tank, which is this one, and those are all the cold and hot water valves for it, and there are more valves there, and it's taken me a long while to work out which valve is which, because you don't want to get your dirty water and your clean water mixed up, do you? So the dirty water is macerated from the sink, and when it's working, the shower, not the toilet, the toilet's a composting toilet, but all the dirty water goes through this macerator, I like that word, and it comes out through this pipe here, through a hole in the bottom of the floor at this end, the operative end, and I don't know if you can see it, there's a stopcock or a valve there, and when I turn that, it evacuates. I've got it only just in the right place. The dirty water from the dirty water tank, and at the same time I am filling the clean water tank with fresh water from the mains, because fortunately, very, very fortunately, some might say a miracle, there is a mains water pipe just adjacent to the tiny house. So that is something I have to do, I've had to learn to do about every 4 or 5 days, and it is teaching me an awful lot about how much we depend on water, how much water we use, and how mucky it would get without it. So thank you, pipes and macerator. I thought you might wonder how I did my washing in the tiny house when I have no washing machine. In fact, there is plumbing for a washing machine in here, but I have decided to repurpose it as my wardrobe. So my jackets and shirts are there, and instead I take my washing in a bundle like Dick Whittington to the laundry at the gym and spa, and that's where I'm off to now.